For St. Francis head hockey coach Chris Varga, hockey is life. Earlier this month, Varga led the Knights to the program's third state title. He sat down with BCSN's Claire Dow in our latest installment of No Days Off.
It actually is my life, I mean, things come and go. You have good days and bad days, but my one constant is family and then hockey. So family's very supportive. My brother went to school here. And my parents just told me, after I was done playing, I was coaching elsewhere, that, hey, you should take a look at St. Francis. And, listening to my dad, he's pretty wise. So I learned, to listen to him and that good things happen.
And what kind of brought you to St. Francis then? Your brother playing and your dad saying that, but what was the selling factor?
Well, we were good friends with Mike Reeder, who is a former coach here, and he passed away, and really affected me and my colleague, another coach, Brian Kinsella. And we never looked at each other as head coach or assistant coach, and we just kind of, worked together. It's not necessarily we agreed on everything, but we never really argued. There's heated moments, not between us, but with, the refs and whatever, and we kind of bounced off each other. And, next thing you know, 13 years later, we're with each other, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna take a leave of absence. So I went and was coaching somewhere else, and the funny story goes is he, Mike Marciniak, our GM, and I call him our head coach, and he laughs at it, but he's our manager. He's been here since almost the beginning. And Kinsey, that's Brian Kinsella's nickname, calls me and says, hey, I interviewed for the St. Francis job, hockey. And I'm like, oh, that's great. And I'm over here in Adrian College. I'm helping the youth program, getting the hockey started over there back when, years ago. And I was like, hey, man, that's great. I was just going to call you, see if you want to help me out with college. And he's like, no, I talked to this gentleman, Mike Marciniak, and, said I'm the head coach. Interviewed well, and they want me to coach. And he's a former gold digger. He knows the area. Just gave back. He used to be a referee in the system, so he knew all the refs, all the coaching, coaches, and whatever. So he calls me on a Saturday or Sunday and says all this to me. And I'm on the road driving to Adrian to my practice because high school starts later than college. And I'm driving, and he goes, yeah, I got the job. And he said, yeah, they want you to be my assistant. The only way that I get the job is if you are my assistant. And I'm like, Brian, I'm already coaching. I'm working a full-time job in a family business. I mean, I don't really have any time. He goes, all right, I'll see you Tuesday, and hung up. So that's how it started. I showed up Tuesday, coaching 2 teams, full-time job, had kids, family. Back then I look back, and that's really what put my foot in the door here.
For you, you're probably an old pro at this point, but how do you balance family life and coaching and everything else you have going on?
Now that I'm older and I think I'm wiser in this sport, the actual truth is it's rough when you have young kids. But my kids are all grown up, done with college or in college, and they don't live at home anymore. So I don't have to come home and go over homework and how was school today, and oh, you got a boo-boo on your knee, or oh, you're playing on the slide as little kids, and oh, the dog, this and that, and drawing on the wall. You don't have to deal with any of it now. Now I just go home and sit in my chair, or actually I sit at my desk in my office, and I just go over game film, because I don't really have any distraction anymore because they're grown up. You text and you call, but that's what you do. You got to let them go and let them expand their wings.